Over 40s winged eyeliner. I'm going to share with you in this tutorial how to get open looking eyes if your eyes are starting to hood or are hooded. And then I'm going to share with you the lipstick that just sets it all off. So let's get started. Let's create a little bit of lift on our eye. So to do that, I'm using this palette here. This is a palette that is so beautiful, and if you want to see it on all different eye colours and skin tones, you can click the link below, it's there. And this brush really is your best friend when it comes to creating a lifted looking eye to your eye makeup in a natural way. So I'm using this colour here because it's a neutral colour. So if you're doing this at home, you need to find a colour that is a natural neutral shade that's a few shades darker than your skin tone. So I'm using this one here. My top tip, you want to take a mirror and you actually want to look down into the mirror so you really get a good, like you can see if I look up in the mirror, I'm only getting this section of my eye. If I do my eye makeup looking down like that, I'm getting a lot more, I can see a lot more of my eye. So you want to make sure your eye is in its natural position. So none of this, like this, and you want to look slightly down into your hand mirror, like so. And then you're going to take the brush, take your pinky finger as a stabilizer, and you're going to put it really where your hood is started. So for me, it's here. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go backwards and forwards. So it's going over my hood. And the reason I want it to go over my hood is because when I make the hood sink back by being darker, it creates more of a lift. Can you see very subtly, this is starting to look a lot more lifted and less hoodie than this eye. You see, this looks slightly more lifted and this looks slightly more heavier. Okay, let's put a little bit more on. Tap, tap. And I'm doing it really delicately. So you don't want to press really hard into your skin like that. You want to get just the tips like this. Now, if you make a mistake or you think you've applied too much, do not worry. Get a microfiber cloth. You might have one in your kitchen cupboard if it's clean, and just dust off your eye makeup brush. And then when it's clean, go back in and just buff. And what that will do is just blend it really, really seamlessly for you. Now, if you're like, oh, I'm feeling quite brave, then go in and do a little bit more. But this time you can squeeze the brush like this, make it more intense and go backwards and forwards. This is a brush that really does do it all. Then you're going to take this, you see this part under my arch here? I'm going to take a Q-tip, like so, and I'm going to dip it in the lighter shade here. And I'm doing this because I want to create a lift to my eye before I create a winged. So a bit here, and then I'm going to apply. This is such a good little thing to use for applying your makeup here. Pinky finger to stabilize, and then I'm just going to go under my arch with a little bit of the cream shadow. This, what's pinky cream here. Tap off. Sorry, I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at myself as I'm doing my makeup in my phone. Okay, then you take your pinky finger and you're just going to delicately blend so it doesn't look like it's an obvious stripe of colour. It needs to look blended in. You see? Then I'm going to put a little bit more here, tap off. I'm going to put just a touch around my tear duct area there. Pinky finger, oops, drop my palette, pinky finger and blend. How easy is that? Now, let me pick up my eyeshadow palette and hope it hasn't smashed. Oh, it's here, not smashed. And then again with my Q-tip, I'm going to apply a little bit just to the middle of my lower eyelid like that. Pinky finger, blend. Couldn't be easier. Now, that looks much more defined and lifted than this eye. Okay, in fact, I'm just going to I'm going to do this eye, but I'll fast forward it so you don't have to watch it all. Da, 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 da. That was so easy and it looks nice and natural. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bronzed liner because we want to create a soft line, and then we're going to use a black gel liner over the top. And when you see how I use the two together, it's going to give a really beautiful, soft, diffused winged liner to your eye. As we age, we don't really want lots of harsh lines. We want things to look just soft and pretty and, you know, a natural version of a winged eyeliner. So this bronze shade here, you'll see, it's beautiful and you can smudge it, and then once it dries, it sets in place for the day. It's totally smudge proof. So first of all, we're going to take our pinky finger and we're going to line the upper waterline of our eye here, because this is going to create intensity. Now, this is something that does take a little bit of practice, but I promise you, after 3 goes, you will get it. Don't worry about lining the way over. You're just going to do the outer third of your eye, and you're going to focus on putting more on the outer corner here, just like that. And then when you've done the outer corner there, you're going to take your pinky finger and you're just going to move the line slightly upwards with your pinky finger. Can you see we're already creating a wing? Now, don't worry if it doesn't look neat, because a Q-tip is your best friend and you can neaten this. And also trust in the process. Things don't have to look perfect as you go, because we're going to perfect as we go. So let's do the other side. I always find it easier to look down. I've got my pinky finger as my stabilizer, and then I would just put a little bit more in the corner there. Take my pinky finger and just gently smudge it up. Now, the angle of your liner, if you imagine your under eye was going to smile right up to the edge of your brow, that's the angle of your liner. So follow this angle up towards the end of your brow, and that will give you the perfect angle for your winged liner. Okay, you could stop there and think, oh, I'm happy with that. But I want to show you what more you can do so you can play around with this look at home. So now we're going to take this bronze and we're going to draw a line over our eyelid. So I'm going to need to look in the mirror for this. Apologies. So I always tend to go in like this to about there, and then when I'm about there, I then go the other way and go and meet the line in the middle. I find that the easiest way of lining. So if you've made a mistake, don't worry, because whilst this is still not totally set, you can smudge it. And when you smudge the line, it creates a beautiful, soft, diffused look to the liner. And that's what you want. You don't really want any harsh lines. Okay, let's do the other side, but you can see it's already creating this really beautiful winged look to my eye, isn't it? Let's do the other side. So I go across to the center on this side, on the outer corner, and then when I get to the middle, I go from the inner corner to the center to meet that line, and I find that the easiest way to line. And then if you've made a mistake, just smudge the line a little bit, because that takes any jagged edges down and you've still got a really pretty line there. Now that I've created that first line, this is kind of like my base. This is almost like my template. And I'm now going to take this same bronze pencil and I'm going to go over the top of that line to make the initial line slightly thicker. So I'm just making that line slightly thicker, and you'll see why in just a second. Like that. And then I'm going to smudge. Like that. Let's do the other side. So I'm going over the top of the line to make it thicker, like so. And then I'm going to smudge. Easy, so easy. This is the kind of look that you could, you know, play around with on a Sunday morning and perfect for when you want to wear it. Okay, so this pencil is different. This, let me clean my hand. This is a gel liner. Now it acts almost like a liquid liner, but it's much easier to use because it's in a wind up pencil and it's really, really thin. So this makes winged eyeliner really, really easy and foolproof. So it's also smudge proof, which is great. And how we're going to use this is, oh, I've just noticed a little bit, I'm going to tidy up. So I'm going to get my trusty Q-tip and just tidy up a little bit there. It's your best friend, these are. Especially the ones that are kind of like pointy on the ends. They're really good. Okay, so we're going to take the black gel liner because we're using this black now. Just a very thin line on the outer corner over the top of the bronze. And when you use the black and the bronze together, it creates a really soft smokiness to your winged eyeliner. So let's start, pinky finger as your stabilizer, and you want to wiggle this as much as possible into the roots of your lashes. So you're not really worrying about creating a line. You're really just focusing on getting the colour right into the roots of those lashes. Now, before we went under like that, and now we're going on top of the roots, but we're getting it right into the roots. Like so. Can you see? It's almost giving me the look of mascara, but I haven't got mascara on yet. Then, to create the wing, we're going to remember that we want to create this wing that follows this line up to the edge of our brow. Now, we're not going to draw the line that far, but we want that angle to go up like that. So, you're going to take your pen, and it's really, you want to go from like, I'd say 3 lashes in. You don't want to go right here because it's going to take your eye too low. And for a more mature eye, we want to create that lift. So start 3 lashes in this way. And you're just going to do a slight little wing like that. You see? Take your pinky finger and just move it up so it almost disappears into nothing like that. Now this looks really, really cute. Now, if you make a mistake, do not worry, because I found a really cool product called Brow Food. I don't know why it's called Brow Food, because it's actually a eye makeup corrector. So say I wanted to just perfect that a little bit, this acts like an invisible eraser. I would just wipe away and neaten up that line with this pen. It's a really clever piece of kit because it just perfects your wing. And then I'll just, there you go. So it's almost like a little baby wing. And where I've wiped off a little bit of my makeup, you know, my eye makeup, I will just pat that on there. Lovely, I love that. Now I'm going to do the other side, and then I've got the most amazing mascara to show you. I love that. Okay, wait until you see this mascara. It's so cool. It's dual ended. So this is for volume, and then this side is for length. But I'm going to start off by firstly using this thin end to get right into my lash roots. I'm not going to worry about the tips just there. I go right into my lash roots. Now the reason I'm using this mascara is because it gives a really dramatic look to my lashes. And when you're doing a winged eyeliner, if you give yourself a slightly more dramatic look to your lashes, it will lift your eye, because the lashes draw the eye upwards and in turn make the eyes look bigger and more open, and really good if you have a hood. Okay, look. Then, oh, poke myself in the eye. Then I take the other end for the volume and I coat from the root to the tip. But I'm focusing now on the outer corner here because I want to create that kind of really cat eye, beautiful, sort of sexy kitten look to the eye, the hair. Love that. Now you could do as many layers as you like because this is the perfect mascara for layering. Let's do the bottom lashes. So I start by coating the roots all the way along, like so. And then I use the volume. You see it, like it's a soft winged look, almost like a smoky wing. I think it looks really pretty, like so. I'll quickly do the other eye and then I'll come back. I'm really loving this. I've got something else exciting to show you, which is a lipstick, and then I'm going to show you how you can turn this lipstick, which looks lovely with a winged eyeliner, into a really gorgeous glowy blush. So let's apply this lipstick. Now I've chosen this lipstick to go with this look because I wanted a statement lip in the sense of, you know, you can see I'm wearing lipstick, but I didn't want it too dark. Because I think it balances out the eyes quite nicely. It's just a really pretty colour. And then what I like to do is I'm going to make this into a really cute blush. Now, if you applied this and you're like, oh, I like this, but I might like it to be a little bit more nudie, then you can take your shadow. This is a good little tip. Put it in the middle of your lips. Pat. And it kind of gives you a really cute little sort of ombre effect to your lipstick. And all I did was I added this in the middle there. I'm going to take this lipstick now, I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand like so. And then I'm going to take Cosmic Glow, which is a product that I made as a makeup artist, which gives the most amazing glowy skin. I haven't used it on my face today yet, but I'm going to because it creates an amazing glowy blush with your lipstick. It transforms your lipsticks into blushes and it gives high cheekbones, which I'll show you. Just going to mix the two together. This is going to be my blush, like so. Tap it onto my cheeks. Blend it out. So it just makes your lipsticks into a really nice blush. And then I'm going to take a little bit on my hand and clean my finger. And then I'm going to use this on the tops of my cheekbones to add just a really pretty glow and lift. Can you see? Just makes my cheekbones look higher. Just put a bit more on there. You see, it's really natural looking, but what it does, it adds extra dimension and it just gives a beautiful finishing touch. I'm using Cosmic Glow on its own now here, not mixed with my lipstick. It just gives the prettiest finishing touch to your makeup. My cheeks, a little bit down the centre of my nose. And then I'm going to put it on the top of where I did that eyeshadow on my brow bone to give a bit more of a gleam. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my pinky finger and do to my Cupid's bow. Apply to the tops of my cheekbone, like that. Just along here, can you see? It's giving just a really, it adds dimension to your makeup. So you could have a natural look makeup, you might have done more of a kind of winged eye makeup look like this, but it just gives your skin extra dimension, it makes your cheekbones look higher, and it makes a finishing touch to your makeup. This is the finished look. If you want to see what I've used and even more helpful makeup tips, then click the link below and you can see all of my expert tips and all the products I've used, plus more. I've got so much waiting for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you've learned something, and I hope I've encouraged you to experiment a little bit more with your makeup today. Thank you so much for being part of Beauty in the Boutique, and see you soon. Bye.
Timothy, it's time to take over.